Hello everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making one of my all-time favorite comfort foods, homemade banana bread. It's soft, sweet, and filled with a warm flavor and melty chocolate chips. Whether you're baking for yourself or sharing with friends, this recipe is super easy and perfect for any occasion. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is gather all of your ingredients. Next, we are going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. This recipe calls for 1 stick of butter. I like to cut it up into smaller pieces so it melts faster. Once you're done cutting up your butter, you're going to pop it in the microwave for about 30 seconds until it's fully melted. Next, you're going to want to grease up your bread pan. I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use coconut oil or even butter. You want to make sure your bread doesn't stick to the pan later, so don't skip this step. Now let's move on to the star of this recipe. You're going to need 2 ripe bananas. The riper the banana, the sweeter and more flavorful your bread will be. Go ahead and mash those bananas up in a large bowl until they're nice and smooth. Add in your melted butter, a half cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, crack 1 egg into the bowl, along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and mix everything together until it's smooth and well combined. In a separate bowl, combine 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour with 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Add some salt to help bring out all the sweet flavors, along with a heaping teaspoon of cinnamon. Slowly add the dry ingredients to the wet mixture. Don't dump it in all at once. You want to mix gently to avoid overworking the batter. Scrape down the sides of the bowls as you go to make sure everything is fully incorporated. The batter should be thick but smooth. Next, I'm adding in a 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Toss those in and gently fold them into the batter by hand. You want to do this manually so you don't break the chips or overmix the batter. Once everything is mixed, pour the batter into your prepared bread pan. Use a spatula to spread it out evenly across the pan, making sure it reaches all the corners. Sprinkle a few extra chocolate chips on top as it adds a beautiful finish and a bit of melted chocolate crust once it's baked. Next, we're going to place our pan into the oven and bake for 40 minutes. Every oven is different, so keep an eye out around the 35-minute mark. When the 40 minutes is up, take your banana bread out of the oven. Let it sit for a couple minutes, then do the knife test. Stick a clean knife or toothpick into the center of the bread. If it comes out clean with just a few crumbs, it's done. If there's wet batter on top, pop it back into the oven for another 5 minutes and test it again. Let your banana bread cool in the pan for 10 to 15 minutes before removing it. Cooling helps the bread firm up and finish setting. Once it's cooled a bit, use a knife to gently loosen the edges of the bread from the pan. Place a cooling rack on top of the pan and flip it upside down. The banana bread should slide right out. If it needs a little help, just tap the bottom of the pan gently. Place a plate or dish under the loaf and flip it one more time so it's right side up. And there you have it, moist, delicious, chocolatey banana bread made from scratch. I love this recipe because it's so easy. Whether you're a seasoned baker or just starting out, this is a recipe that always delivers. Plus, it's a great way to use those overripe bananas sitting on your counter. Banana bread is also full of feel-good ingredients. Bananas are a great source of potassium and natural sweetness, and making it at home means no preservatives, just real, wholesome goodness. Slice it up and enjoy it warm, maybe with a pat of butter or a drizzle of honey. It also stores great for a few days and can even be frozen for later. Thank you so much for baking with me today. If you give this recipe a try, let me know in the comments how it turned out. Bye!